this coronavirus thing, honestly, whatever happened, whatever we did here, the part of it that just shocks me the most is that China closed their domestic air travel and let their people, their sick people, spread around the war. Now, I certainly am not somebody who would ever beat war drums about anything or thinks we need to go to war with China, but that is an active war in any period of time in history, is it not?
Well, one of the things that we do know is China, they knew they had this virus. They knew for 50-something days that this was an epidemic moving to a pandemic. During that period of time, what did they do? They hoarded PPE from around the world because they knew it was going to be needed. They prohibited people from Wuhan in Hubei province from going anywhere else in China. But they could go to the Wuhan International Airport, get on a plane, and fly anywhere else in the world they wanted to fly. Of course, many of these people had been exposed to the coronavirus. They developed the COVID-19. It was early on in the pandemic. No one knew what it was or how to detect it or how to treat it. And I give President Trump an incredible amount of credit because he ended travel with China and said, we are not going to land those planes here. He limited their ability to come into the country. And then when federal agencies were moving too slowly responding to this, what did he do? He said, okay, I'm going to call the vaccine makers over to the White House. We're going to discuss this, and I'm going to develop a Project Warp Speed that we will run out of the FDA. He did it. That is why we have 3 vaccines that are in clinical trials right now. And as they are in those clinical trials, they are already manufacturing the vaccine. It is why people were able to get ventilators and PPE. He said to the automakers, we need ventilators. Who can retool and make them? And now we've been supplying ventilators to other countries. It is why all of a sudden there were these face shields. People that were into 3D printing, they retooled, they made face shields. People that were in other garment manufacturing started making masks. And then he called the retailers in and he said, we have to get all of this to the American people and you cannot price gouge. And they all made a commitment and they did it. And even our whiskey makers in Tennessee, our distillers, what did they do? They started making sanitizers. So they got in on the act also. So this is the way that you address these problems, and President Trump was a great leader through the whole thing.
Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.